Good evening, class. I realize I'm not actually at school today, so this presentation is actually the second Prezi about marketing. Now, on Monday we talked about a little bit on introduction to marketing, what exactly marketing is, and other items and sundries. Okay, now why marketing? Needs, objectives, not just a goal. It's a representation of your work. It's a quality indicator. Without marketing, you've got no loss and no gain. Customers gain through word of mouth, obviously, is a big one. And without marketing, no relationships with the customers exist. Now, we have what we call a SWOT analysis. It's broken into strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now, the strengths are positive, tangible, and intangible attributes internal to an organization. They are within the organization's control. In other words, our strengths, they are within our boundaries of control. So if you think about your business model when it comes to marketing, when it comes to marketing strength, it's something that you can regulate. You can regulate the flow, you can regulate the traffic, etc. Now, weaknesses, these are factors that are still within an organization's control that detract from its ability to attain the core goal. So the question is here, in which areas might the organization improve? Improvement is a big factor in the marketing industry. Remember when last week we talked about soft skills, one of the big ones was feedback. That all had to do with communication, which is the number one attribute that employers are looking for in potential employees. So when you look at weaknesses, you can understand that the questions you can ask. Remember, I said the only dumb question is a question never asked. So in regards to this, it would be, in which areas might the organization improve to strengthen their weaknesses? Now, opportunities. These are external attractive factors that represent the reason for an organization to exist and development. What opportunities exist in the environment which will propel the organization? Identify them by their time frames. Okay, if you think about 9/11, there was an article that was posted in Time magazine that showed 9/11/2000, and then it showed 9/11/2001. And what you saw was, by the end of that day, one neighborhood went from 0 United States flags to the entire street. Every nook and cranny of that particular neighborhood had American flags raised high due to the effects of the attacks on 9/11. Now, what this shows you is, in regards to marketing, the opportunity in this situation was for flag companies. If you go to Walmart, they actually have bins or areas now that are dedicated to flags. Okay, if you go back CIRSA 2001, 2000, you will see that those particular shelf areas were just not available. You know, if you wanted an American flag, you might as well go to Hobby Lobby or special order something online, because you weren't going to find those in places like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, Sears, etc. The patriotic idea was an opportunity that was brought forth by the events of September 11th, 2001. Okay, so this is a good example for you to understand when an opportunity presents itself, whether it's like our last baseball game we just had with the pink out, breast cancer awareness. These types of things marketing strategies allow you to take opportunities, again, in time frames. It all has to do with time. Think about Walmart. They're already putting Christmas stuff out in the end of September, beginning of October, 3 months before Christmas is even close. They're doing this. Now they're doing this because of the opportunity. You have your early birds. You have your people that don't want to deal with the Black Fridays after Thanksgiving. They don't want to deal with that mess. Okay, so opportunity is always there. So in regards to SWOT, okay, in this particular scenario, you want to identify the opportunities of whatever company or product you're trying to sell. Now, you also have your threats. Your threats are the external factors beyond the organization's control, which could place the organization's mission or operation at a risk. Basically, the organization may benefit by having contingency plans to address them should they occur. Now, you're going to classify them by their seriousness and probability of occurrence. Now, in this scenario, let's go ahead and use 9/11 as an example. Between 9/11 2000 and 9/11 2002, do you have any idea how many companies popped up promoting the devastation of 9/11? Commemorative coins using the metals that were extracted from the site of the 9/11 ground zero. Or if you want to use the idea of the flag, where you at one, before 2001, you only had 5 major companies providing American flags for people to display in their homes or outside of their homes. That number drastically was increased by a multitude. Okay, these again are external factors involved that sometimes take threat and opportunity and intertwine them together. So in regards to business, when you're dealing with the idea of SWOT and how you're going to deal with these things, you got to understand sometimes the weaknesses that you have are connected. Okay, so this is where you have the seriousness and probability of occurrence that you can deal with. Now, again, you have strengths in the top left, weaknesses in the bottom left, opportunities in the top right, threats in the bottom right. The idea here is minimize and avoid the two on the bottom. Okay, you want to maximize, you want to convert your weaknesses to strengths, and you want to convert your threats to opportunities. When you have that, you have a match of strengths and opportunities. And what this does is basically, if you can minimize the number of weaknesses you have, whether you buy patents or you buy up the additional patents for the design of a certain type of American flag, a certain type of material, etc. Apple was known in 2012, 2011, end of 2011, they were buying all sorts of patents so they could create this aura of lawsuits. Okay, they actually bought the patent on the flip page for a PDF document or an ebook document that you could actually just flip the page with a turn of a finger or the swipe of a finger. They bought that patent, and initially it was to get that royalty, even if it was on an Android device or whatever, Amazon, etc. And what it did is it caused this massive ball of snowball effect that became a lawsuit war, where Apple, then Amazon, then Android, which is the Google, of course, and also Microsoft got involved in all kinds of lawsuits. And the ironic thing was, earlier this year, several, including Samsung, with the design of the iPhone and its layout, many lawsuits were finally just dissolved. They were decided by the parties that were involved that, hey, look, we understand this is a little too much. Okay, so in that situation, all parties involved converted their weaknesses to strengths and their threats to opportunities. Now you have your 4 P's when it comes to marketing, okay? The idea is this, and later on this week you're going to have an actual handout that deal with the 4 P's in marketing. You have a product ideas and service and goods. You have a price, in other words, the product fees involved. You have the positioning, where you want to leave a mark in your customer's mind. A slogan, a color that reminds you of the customer with you. An example would be Life's Good, LG. Okay, and then you have your promotion. You've got forming slogan, online marketing strategy, and on-site marketing strategy. Now, products, ideas, and services and good. Again, products and fees in regards to the price. Positioning, leave a mark on your customer's mind. A slogan, color, and finally the promotion. You want to form a slogan, an online marketing strategy deeply rooted in social media, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's some of the other medias that are out there that you can use. You want to use those to your greatest advantage. Now, techniques in regards to marketing. You have the marketing triangle. We'll introduce the main outlines. You have objective, strategy, tactics, and programs. Online, look at all these. You've got Flickr, YouTube, Facebook, Dig. You've got Twitter. You have all the social media bandwagon that people are now getting into because of the online potential of success for business. You have on-site, which would be basically your local site. Like if you think about Jasper, Georgia, you would think about Bodacious Foods. Okay, one of the promotional items they could do on-site for locally would be stickers. You've got floaters, uniform, and flyers. All kinds of things. If we have a parade, they can hand out candy with a little notice on there. Bodacious Food is awesome. You know, you have info decks and brochures. You have all kinds of online revenue type things that you can tie into your on-site, where it could say, you know, as you drive by, whether it's a billboard or something that says, you know, go here, do this, get this. Okay, and then you have posters, places. Downtown we have a lot of activities. On-site would be, you know, whether it's 51 Main or anywhere like that, Annie's, anywhere. Okay, if you think about it, you could place these posters to advertise your goods and your services and get yourself out there to the general public. Now you have startups on when it comes to marketing for the business model. You have 10 steps. Obviously, I'm not going to read these because it's right here. Bam. Number 1, create a life plan. Your current status, your ideal life. Sky's the limit, of course. What do you really like doing? Your skills and capabilities. What do you do well? Your track record. What have you done? Okay, what experience do you have? Your ideal work style, whether it's part-time, full-time, / at home or on the road. And moves you'll need to make to achieve your ideal life. Training, skills, etc. Choosing a business model. You want to either be part-time, full-time. You're going to be home-based, outside the home. E-commerce or eBay if you want to do the online deal. Franchising, look at Zaxby's. Licensing your product, you can look at it that way. And if you decide that, why? You also have create a business plan. Questions you must answer. Key components of a business plan in writing a business plan. Okay, this is the roadmap to success, if you will. Select a business structure. Sole proprietorships or partnerships. Do you want to own the company fully, or do you want to be with partnerships like Shark Tank? We'll be looking at several videos on Shark Tank and looking at how partnerships can ebb and flow depending on the potential for those companies. Okay, you have corporations or limited liability companies, LLCs, and why? You know, it all has to do with lawsuits. It all has to do with insurance. It all has to do with all kinds of benefits quid pro quo kind of thing. Okay. Create key business assets. You want a key website address. No one wants, you know, um, let's have fun .tv.ixu.com. Nobody wants that. No one's going to find it. No one's going to remember it. Everybody wants cool.com, okay? Or, vacuums.com, okay? Trademarks. You want to trademark your item. TM. You see that on a lot of products you have. If you look at, it's even funny. You look at Walmart. I'm a big person on Great Value, Equate, and some of the other products that they have. Walmart has, instead of Diet Mountain Dew, they have what's called Diet Mountain Lightning. And if you look at the layout, it shows a mountain in the background. On the right side, it says TM, so it's trademarked. Okay. Copyrights, obviously, you definitely want to have copyrights when you have a business. You don't want to go out there and have any of your ideas taken from you, because no one can copyright an idea. Okay, so you want to definitely get your thought process and the end result official before you even go out there and try to get a partner or whatever you end up doing. Okay, MOUs, we'll go into that later. Find the funding. Obviously, buy your own. If you're a millionaire, you're good to go. Ka-chow, right? Friends and family. You might have a millionaire friend. You might have a friend that has a good amount of money. Family members as well. Banks are a big factor in funding. Usually they like to have a lot of collateral in regards to startup businesses. So you may have to put your house up. You may have to put your parents' house up, etc. Grants, you have funding available from government, local, state entities that can give you money for original ideas based on the premise and based on the the end result of what you're creating. And then, of course, angel investors. You got Personal, Vodafone, and of course Shark Tank. Take your idea before them, try to get them chameleons, and go from there. You've got organized logistics. Again, this is getting into the meat and potatoes of managerial opportunities when it comes to creating a dynasty, if you will. You've got accounting, you've got legal services, you've got insurance, banking, information technology, website development, e-commerce, travel, and you have real estate based on, do you want storefront property? Do you want to run it out of your house? Do you want to buy a warehouse for your products to wait in? There's a myriad of examples and solutions here just in organizing the logistics of your business. Okay. 8, find great people. Obviously, understanding the power of people. Find the stars to bring onto your team, and you want to keep them stars, okay? If you have people that are selling stuff for nothing and getting the checks for free, you want to keep them in your employment. Sometimes that means making compromise, giving them the piece of the pie, or giving them opportunities or incentives to stay with you. Okay. Also, importance of a mentor, business advisors. Let's go ahead and use the example of Shark Tank as well in that scenario where some of these entrepreneurs that get on that show, they want to shine, and they know the only real way they're going to do that is if they have someone to help guide them, to help them through the fires and brimstone, so that way when the smoke clears, they're there and the product reigns supreme and all is well in the land of Oz. Okay, 9, establish a brand. You want to draft your brand. This is the DNA of what you're creating. Okay, this is the, again, meat and potatoes of what you're doing. Just do it. Nike. Right? It's all about that, okay? Define your target audience. If you're only, a 15 to 24-year-old age range, focus your energies on that group, on that demographic, okay? If you're only inner city, if you're only country boy, if all you want to do is sell boots with steel-toed inserts that prevent a cow from breaking your foot when it steps on it. Those types of things are important when it comes down to defining your target audience, okay? Choose a brand name. Obviously, the big thing is be original. Sometimes people are lucky. They're lucky to just have a last name that makes them reign supreme. I had a friend in high school. He has a business now where you have he owns a roofing business, okay, and his last name is Stark, okay. So in his phrase that pays, he has Stark roofing. Without us, you're stark naked, okay. So it's like, one for this and that, and it just works, okay. But if you don't have that last name, you don't have that dynasty, so to speak, you can always choose a brand name that rocks, okay. You've got Train, it's hard to stop a train, etc. Okay, there's all kinds of original stuff. If you think about our local company of Nivec, the owner of the company, his name is Kevin. Guess what? That's Nivec. That's Kevin spelled backwards. How original is that? Okay, nothing but kudos. All right, you're going to create a logo, slogan, and positioning statement. Obviously, these are things that are important. Again, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. When you're at a point where you're time to establish a brand, when you want to make a name for yourself, you've got to be original. You've got to take this thing to the next level. All right? So the logo, again, like Nike, the swoosh, okay? The slogan, again, it's hard to stop a train. And the positioning statement, right? If you think of LG, life's good, okay? Which, again, that can go with slogan, but the positioning statement always has to do with an idea of what you're trying to sell. You've got to make a list of all your other touch points, obviously, in regards to the brand itself and how you're going to take it, what direction you're going to go, your business flow, etc. And then, of course, you want to finally create a demand for your brand. There's nothing more important than becoming important to people. Word of mouth is very important. Therefore, a lot of establishing of a brand is using social media. Social media produces 50 to 80% worldwide on customer feedback, customer appreciation, and customer dissemination. Okay, that means very simply, if a customer likes your product, if you can sell your product to one customer, that number can be doubled every single day for the rest of your life if you're lucky. Okay, so it's all about creating a demand for your brand. And finally, number 10, market and sell. Again, research and strategy. You got to make sure that whatever you're making, people want. Okay, if people wanted rubber glasses that could fold into tiny little squares and put them in your pocket and walk away when you don't need them, then research and strategy will show that that's relevant. Okay, that's why you have to do these things. You got to make proof that what you're doing is essential to people. People want it. Okay, and the only way to do that is through research and strategy. It's through listening to your customers as to what they want. You have a product you're trying to sell, whether it's your glasses, whether it's a book, whether it's a pair of pants. Whether it's a certain clothing line, whether it's a lipstick product, etc. Your research and strategy should first target the audience that wants that particular item, and then find out the nooks and crannies of what those people want that product to do. Okay, quality is our recipe. Okay, that's the whole Wendy's thing. Marketing materials obviously are based off of your research and strategy. You want to make sure you have your marketing materials ready to go. Take care of business. And finally, your marketing methods. Is it Christmas? Is it New Year's? Do you sell your stuff more during Valentine's Day than ever before? How about St. Patty's Day? Okay, 4th of July, etc. Or are you an annual seller? Are you something that could be on an end cap in Walmart year round? Okay. So that's the whole idea of the market and sell. First, research and strategy, then you get your marketing materials, and then you decide your marketing methods from there. Okay, what if scenarios, you got to consider these. I'm not going to go into too much details on these because real simply put, there's a million what if scenarios. You know, what if I create a candle scent for Christmas and then all of a sudden there's 15 other generic versions around me? How can I combat that? What's my contingency plan? How can I make that weakness a strength when we're thinking back to the SWOT that we talked about earlier, okay? The what if scenarios are there to help you strengthen your resolve, okay? And increase the importance of what you're doing, the importance of your product, and the importance of its relevancy to customers. And again, I want to thank you. I know I'm not there, but again, go ahead and do your assignments, do your things that you're supposed to do, and when I come back, we will deal with any issues otherwise. Have a good day.